Thank you and good morning. I'm Curt Schroder, the Regional Executive of the Delaware Valley Healthcare Council. We're a regional arm of the Hospital and Healthsystem Association of Pennsylvania, and we represent the hospitals here in Philadelphia and the surrounding counties. Hospitals have a huge impact on health, on the economy, and on the business life of this city and our entire state and indeed the nation. The hospital community was a dedicated partner in the broad coalition of business and healthcare organizations that came together across the state to support and press and eventually pass the Fair Share Act that we've heard about. The Fair Share Act, which now very much limits the ability of a plaintiff's lawyer to sue an entity just because they have a deep pocket, even though they might not have any real connection with the lawsuit. We thank the Pennsylvania State Legislature and the governor for their leadership in achieving this major reform. However, as you've heard today from the statistics of the study that was presented, Pennsylvania still has a lot of work to do in fostering the kind of legal environment that will draw businesses to Pennsylvania and create jobs. And this is particularly true in the case of hospitals and healthcare in general. Pennsylvania's legal climate is hurting doctors, driving them away from our state just when we need them the most. We must move forward in partnership, once again, with the business and medical communities to make Pennsylvania more physician-friendly, to protect access to care, and to contain the cost of that care. We must pass the benevolent gesture legislation that you heard about, the apology legislation, so that doctors can communicate more freely and openly without fear that their words will be turned against them in a lawsuit. We must retire the M-Care Fund. And as you've heard from the individual speaking before me, we need venue reform. A number of years back, the medical community was successful in getting the General Assembly to pass venue reform, which made sure that the lawsuit had to take place where the location was of the alleged injury. The result in that was that there was a dramatic decrease, a huge drop in medical malpractice cases being filed here in the city of Philadelphia. So no longer would doctors and hospitals unnecessarily have to be dragged in to the litigation lottery that is the Philadelphia court system. Well, we need that type of change for all defendants who are dragged into a lawsuit here so that they can avoid the unfriendly, unfair Philadelphia court system. So like everyone here, I look forward to the day when Pennsylvania is moving up, not down, on the chamber's ranking. And I call on the governor and the General Assembly to return to the issue of litigation and liability reform. You know, as a former member of the General Assembly myself, I know the attitude that sets in. And say, oh, well, we passed the Fair Share Act, therefore we're done with liability reform for a number of years. But as this survey and these important statistics show, we can't afford to allow our elected officials to have that kind of attitude. There's obviously an immense amount of work to be done to reform the litigation system in this state and to make sure that healthcare, your doctors, your hospitals, and all the businesses that create jobs in this region have a fair and balanced court system to hear their side of the case.